What's up, team? Give a second here for everybody to join. It is May 31st. It's May 31st. That's exactly what it is. Okay. Yesterday was Memorial Day. Everybody did Murph. That's right. Okay. Got my bearings now. I guess you guys can't see behind me. My office is absolutely destroyed. Destroyed. This little girl who's just went to sleep about 3 minutes ago, which is why I'm doing this video right now, entered my office and basically treated it like the SWAT team would of just raiding a drug house. I mean, just turned everything upside down, just left it in utter and complete disarray. So I'll be cleaning this after I get done with this video. Hope Murph went well for everybody. Doing any version of Murph is astonishing and fantastic. And that's somewhat related to what today's video is going to be about because, I beat this drum a lot for a reason. So what I just said was doing any version of Murph is incredible. And as I've said many, many times, I think CrossFitters, God bless you all, love you all, you're crazy. And I think you're, in large part, unnecessarily hard on yourself. Unnecessarily hard. And I don't think people realize how amazing what we all do in the gym, in the garage, in the whatever is every day. Because whatever you do all the time, you get used to. It just becomes normal, okay? It's not normal. Allow me to go ahead and say that. And so what I did was I pulled some good old data from BTWB on some classic benchmark workouts, one of them being Murph amongst others. And I'm going to tell you what the middle of the road is, the 50th percentile. And so what that means is of all the scores, thousands and thousands of scores submitted over years and years, that huge treasure trove of data on BTWB, this is the median, the middle, the dead center. And so it stands to reason that most people will fall slightly below it or above it, but this is the median. So I'll list all these different workouts, and in your mind, you can have a good little idea of, yep, I'm right there, or I'm a little bit above what would be considered the 50th percentile, or I'm a little bit below the 50th percentile. And that, as I'm going to give you a whole bunch of workouts that have short time domains, medium time domains, and long time domains, you'll get a good idea there. Some light workouts, some moderate workouts, and some heavy workouts, so there'll be some balance there as well. And then most of them are mixed modality because I just feel that's going to give you a better sense of being well-rounded than a single modality. But there are some single modality in there as well. And so we'll kind of just balance it all out. We'll have a little bit of fun. And I bet most people are doing better than they give themselves credit for. So that's the point of this whole thing. So these are the 50th percentile, right down the middle, data from BTWB. And there's one more thing, there's one more thing I've got to say before I start giving these times, is this is the 50th percentile, just dead down the middle, for the data on BTWB. Not the average human. And that's a very important point. The average human, you're considered a different species compared to the average human. This data is from the people who are just on BTWB, which is a segment of society that have decided to pay a lot of attention to how they eat, a lot of attention to how they move. They've decided to do functional movements and embrace intensity and get outside their comfort zone and lift heavy and go long and work on their weaknesses. So this segment of data that you're comparing yourself to is not normal people. It's people that are already crushing fitness. So if you fall a little bit below, keep that in mind, that you're comparing yourself to a very unique and already elite subset of society. Okay, with that being said, we'll dive in. That also being said, we're not talking about games athletes, okay? It's a different subset of society that sadly I think too many people watch what they have going on and then feel bad about themselves. If you follow a games athlete and it motivates you in a positive manner. That's fantastic. Keep following them. You have my unfettered, full-blown support. But if you follow some people, games athletes, regional athletes, whatever the heck it happens to be, and as we all know, comparison is the thief of joy, and following that individual just makes you go like, oh, I'm not strong enough. Oh, my Helen time's not that fast, or whatever. That might not be the most positive stuff to fill your head with. I would recommend unfollowing those people, if that's what it does to you. Okay, that's my lead-in, my disclaimer. Here we go. 50th percentile. You can go ahead and guess in your head. And I've got all the data for both men and women, because that's how it's broken down on BTWB. Fran, the most notorious and infamous of all CrossFit workouts, 21:59 thrusters and pull-ups. The 50th percentile for men, 5 minutes and 35 seconds. Women, 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So go ahead and assess yourself. You might be doing a little bit better than you think that you are. Helen, one of my all-time personal favorites. Everyone knows that I have an absolute love affair with Helen. What a fantastic workout. Men, 10 minutes and 31 seconds. Women, 11 minutes and 49 seconds. Cindy, not a barbell in sight, 20 minutes of just gymnastics. The 50th percentile for men, 17 rounds. It's a really good score, by the way. Women, 14.2 rounds. Murph, we just did this yesterday. A lot of us did anyway. So this is with a vest and most likely partitioned. Okay, most likely doing 20 rounds of Cindy in there. 50th percentile for men, 47 minutes, 52 seconds, and 51 minutes and 6 seconds for women. Again, I think those are really excellent times, by the way. DT. Okay, so we went from no barbell in sight for Cindy to now we're going to do just another single modality, just barbell work, DT. Deadlifts, hang power cleans, and going overhead with a 155 barbell or a 105. Men, 11 minutes and 30 seconds is the 50th percentile. Women, 10 minutes and 25 seconds. High five to the women out there. They're about a minute and 5 seconds on average faster than the guys on DT. Just putting the guys in their place. Fantastic. Grace. Now here's just short and sharp, right? 30 reps, clean and jerk. Moderate barbell, 135 or 95. Men, 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Women, 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Okay? So those are my classic named CrossFit benchmark, largely mixed modality, okay? And largely not just one single thing. You know, like Grace is just a clean and jerk. But, you know, DT, you've got deadlift, hang power clean, and then you're go ahead and going overhead. Cindy, you know, you don't have a barbell, but you've got 3 different gymnastics movements in there. You've got everything from a short time domain on Grace to a long time domain on Cindy and Murph, obviously. You've got middle of the road stuff with Fran and Helen. You've got DT. You've got below parallel. You've got pulling off the ground. So that's a pretty good just general overview. And if you were 50th percentile, quote unquote, average, whatever that means, on all of those workouts, you would be, I mean, your non-CrossFit friends, you would be the one everyone looked to as like a full-blown fitness lunatic. And they would ask you, what do? You just look so amazing. You're just in so much better shape than everybody. But in the crazy world that we live in, with the media that we consume, you might have those 50th percentile times or scores or rounds and think that you're not doing that great, which is too bad because you're doing amazing. So that was mixed modality. Okay, let's go into some just more specialty things, okay? 1 rep max deadlift. 50th percentile. Go ahead, get your guesses in your head. This is the men's 50th percentile for a 1 rep max deadlift. 363.8 pounds. So let's call it 364. So if you can pull 364 pounds off the floor once for a deadlift, 50th percentile, fantastic. Women, 220.5 pounds gives you 50th percentile on the deadlift. I think there's a lot of people hit those numbers, by the way, on deadlift a lot. 1 rep max back squat, 50th percentile, men, 295 pounds. Women, 175 pounds. This would be an appropriate time for me to go ahead and break out my trusty soapbox that I carry with me everywhere, that if we just stopped right here and didn't go through anything else, I have a gut feeling with as long that I've been around CrossFitters and all those numbers that I just gave for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 named benchmark workouts, Fran, Helen, Cindy, Murph, DT, and Grace, and then the 50th percentile on the 1 rep max deadlift and the 1 rep max back squat, that what I bet we would find with a lot of people is that their lifts were right around the 50th percentile, but they had some work to do in the mixed modality area. So don't fall into that trap of, oh, probably not strong enough, and if I just deadlift and squat more, that's going to raise everything up. It's not. It's not, and most of us don't need more lifting. That's not also something that, is going to be quote sniped, and Pat Sherwood said lifting's not important and I don't need to lift anymore. That's not what I'm saying either. Is that I think when we look at the broad spectrum of workouts, light, moderate, heavy, everything in between, just gymnastics, that most of us see that we've got scores all over the board, and that most of us need some improvement in a lot of areas, and that's going to be done by not just focusing on lifting, not just focusing on gymnastics or whatnot, but by doing constantly varied functional moves at high intensity, going short, medium, and long, and respecting the heavy days, and all of those wonderful things will come up at the same time. Okay, I've got 4 more data points for you, just for giggles, okay? These other 2 are just strength lifts, but now we're really putting a critical focus on technique. So the 50th percentile for a 1 rep max clean and jerk for men, 205 pounds. That's 50th percentile. Women, 121.3 pounds. Again, I bet people are doing a lot better than they thought that they were. Your friend and mine, the 1 rep max snatch. Talk about a world of just technique, right? Men, 50th percentile, 154.3 pounds, so 154 pounds. Women, 88.2 pounds, so 88 pounds. Again, fantastic. And again, those clean and jerk and snatch numbers, if they don't seem, if you're like, I would have thought the 50th percentile would be a lot higher. Interesting. You, once again, I don't want to use the word pollute, but I will say that's what jumped into my head. You might be polluting your social media feed by watching some individuals who are filling your mind with an inappropriate reality. Just, it's a possibility. Where these numbers are 50th percentile based upon thousands and thousands of data points. And if you have them, I struggle to think what you're going to face in the real world that you won't absolutely crush, absolutely demolish. So again, give yourself a pat on the back. So now, the last 4 that I covered were just strength lifts, right? I covered 1 rep max deadlift, 1 rep max back squat, clean and jerk, and snatch. So now let's be fair and let's give 2 more data points that are, if those would be specialty areas, like just power lifters could just crush the deadlift and the back squat, Olympic lifters crushing the clean and jerk and the snatch. Well, let's go the other direction with 2 data points in the other way. Ready? Jerry. Jerry is a hero workout, CrossFit hero workout. Not a barbell in sight, and it's longer than most of us want to go. Jerry is for time, 1 mile run, 2K row, 1 mile run. That will let you know if you've been blowing off your engine work. 50th percentile for Jerry, for men, 24 minutes and 42 seconds. And for women, 28 minutes. That's a good one. It's a great workout, by the way. Final one. We're going to push it out even a bit further, and we're going to make CrossFitters around the world just sob tears. Ready? The 10K run. There's probably a fair number of people saying, 10K run? Well, sure, say whatever you want for a time, but I can't even tell you if I'm above it or below it because I've got no idea what my 10K run is. Aha, exactly. 10K run, 50th percentile for men. 51 glorious minutes of just running. Women, 58 minutes of running. What that shakes out to, here in the United States where we like miles per hour, sorry for all my friends overseas, for the men, for a 51-minute 10K, that comes out to holding an 8-minute and 13-second pace per mile. For women, to come into that 50th percentile, to get 58 minutes on a 10K run, that comes out to a 9-minute and 21-second per mile pace sustained for the 10K run. So, I leave you with that data. I hope that you enjoyed it. And you can go back and watch this again and again and maybe, track some of your numbers and see where you are. But I really, truly believe, a lot of data crosses my path on a regular basis. And the thing that leaps out to me all the time is that your quote-unquote average, your average CrossFitter, which is what I'm talking about, 50th percentile, is so astonishingly capable. But I feel like they don't think that they are. And that's too bad because, again, you're crushing it. So these workouts that we just mentioned there, those named benchmarks, they had you covered from short to medium to long, light to moderate to heavy, mixed modality and single modality. And I would say if you had to put emphasis on any of them, that anything with a mixed modality, if it's appropriately programmed, is a really beautiful benchmark, test, things of that nature. But this kind of has them all. And then obviously what's going to help you, whatever you do all the time, you get good at, largely. If you lift all the time, you probably get better at lifting. If you run all the time, you probably get better at running. If you do CrossFit all the time, you probably get better at CrossFit. And that's what we do, right? We do constantly varied functional movements at high intensity, short, medium, and long. We vary everything appropriately. We respect the heavy days. And then that actually winds up being what you get good at. And that is the goal. And obviously there's a bunch of other stuff that are going to help drive these numbers in the right direction. Diet, sleep, stress, how are your relationships with your friends, your local community, your fellow humans, all that good stuff. So that's it. That's hopefully a little ray of positive, little beam positivity for the day. I think all of you are awesome and crushing it. Have a wonderful time, and we will talk later.